Greetings and salutations to all my lovelies out there. I do hope you're all having a very pleasant day or evening. Today we're going to be taking some time to commemorate somebody that is very special to me, aka my mother dearest, because today is her 2nd year death anniversary, aka the anniversary of her passing 2 years ago. Now, some of you may understand why this is so important to me. However, for those who do not, I wish to explain. So, for one thing, taking time aside to process and internalize her passing has and still does help me to process my own grief in a way. She herself also used to take time to reminisce and look back and pay respects to the people that she loved and lost throughout her life as well. And I feel like she would want the same done for her. All on top of one other thing that I do believe I have mentioned in a previous video where I talked about my mother. And for those of you who don't know or haven't seen that video, she had a great fear of being forgotten after she had passed away, a terrible reality of which I don't want to see become true. Because considering how she's one of my absolute dearest and bestest friends in the whole wide universe, I would absolutely hate to see all of her hard work, effort, and overall memory and legacy go forgotten to time and space and anything and everything in between. And I feel making content like this and putting her name out there and sharing her memory and sharing her legacy and the stories that I have with her really can possibly help with that. Help with keeping her and her memory alive some way, somehow. Now, my mother was a very real, genuine, and honest person. And while granted she did have her little secrets and things that she preferred to keep to herself, even when she shouldn't have, she tried her absolute best to be as genuine and honest with others as she could be. And while granted that did get her into some trouble sometimes and complicated some things here and there, I personally consider it to be a very admirable quality of hers, one that I myself hold true to this very day. And I bring that up because not only do I want to reminisce on and recall the good memories I had with her, but also the bad ones as well. Because like I said, she was a very raw, genuine, and honest person. She aspired to be as real as she could be, and real people, whether we like it or not, are flawed and make mistakes and sometimes do pretty cruddy things. And my mom was no different. And I truly believe that is exactly how she would want to be remembered. Not as this holy saint that was capable of doing no wrong and never did anything wrong as a result, but as someone that, no matter how flawed she was or might have been, in spite of every mistake that she made and all that she had been put through in her life, and even put others through sometimes, deep down she was a genuinely good person with genuinely good intentions. That sometimes, due to her poor mental health and trauma, she just struggled to convey, because in all honesty, she was definitely somebody who either cared or cared too much. But never once did she just not care at all. Even when she would claim that she didn't care and she tried acting all rough and tough and strong, it was very apparent, especially to those who really knew her well enough, that she did, in fact, care. Definitely a lot more so than she would let on sometimes. She just, again, struggled to express that sometimes. And that's not to say she wasn't an emotional person or anything like that, or she didn't convey a lot of emotion. On the contrary, she was one of the most expressive and emotionally driven people that I know. However, there were definitely times where she struggled to properly express and contain those said emotions. However, coming to learn about and understand her circumstances has made forgiving her for her mistakes and some of the things that she has done to those around her and herself even easier. Especially now that I'm an adult who understands and knows better than I did when I was but a wee youngling. Now, on to another related topic that I also want to cover is just exactly how my mom passed away, which was most likely from driving while intoxicated, or as some of you smart cookies may know, as a DWI for short, which, considering the circumstances surrounding her current situation at that time, along with the fact that she already had a drinking problem leading up to that point, that she had made an active effort to not really let anyone else in on, except those that it affected directly, myself not included. It honestly doesn't surprise me. I mean, it definitely does break my heart still, don't get me wrong, because it was one of those I knew she had a problem, but I didn't know it was that bad type of situation. Until, of course, the damage had already been done, and it was too late to do anything about it. Now, I bring this up because I just want to emphasize, especially to those of you who may be struggling with similar circumstances or similar issues to that of my mother, that things can get better if you are willing to make a change. Now, I am aware that may be hard for some of you to believe, and in no way, shape, or form am I trying to invalidate how you feel or whatever it is you may be going through. However, I firmly believe that there's always hope for better, and there is always hope for change, especially positive change. However, a better life does not rest at the bottom of a bottle, and it's not going to be there waiting for you after you take a few shots. Drinking, more often than not, is just a simple solution to what is usually an otherwise deeper and more complicated problem that can typically be solved through other better means. Now, I would like to take a moment to clarify something. Drinking, period, does not make you any less of a person. Because, like most things, as long as you drink in moderation, it's far from being one of the absolute worst things you can do. I myself am merely speaking on the behalf of those who drink to an unhealthy, excessive amount, in addition to those who may be drinking for the wrong reasons. And for those of you who fit that bill or know somebody who does, I personally advise that help is sought out at the earliest convenience, because if left unattended to, the issue could spiral into a series of unfortunate events later on down the line, like it did with my mother. Now let's move on to a somewhat more palatable subject. In honor of my mother dearest, I wish to do something special for her, which in this case happened to be the drawing showcased in this video. Now, I knew for a while I wanted to do a special drawing for her. However, I was honestly kind of stumped for a while as to what I should draw exactly. However, after several weeks of thinking and brainstorming on the subject matter, inspiration would eventually strike me from all of the dreams I had been having of my mom the past several weeks, resulting in this particular drawing's theme being dreams. Now, considering how a lot of the dreams that my mom is in are rather pleasant in nature, I decided to have that conveyed in this drawing, to which I sincerely hope you all enjoy. Now, apologies for how pessimistic this video may have been in comparison to my other usual content. But don't fret, I'll be back to posting my usual bubbly content soon enough. However, until then, I'm gonna go and reminisce on some lovely memories that I have with my mom. So, until next time, farewell for now, my lovelies. Take very good care of yourselves, and thank you oh so very much for watching.